Two, there's a town in between Holly Beach and Cameron, and it's called Hackberry. So it's kind of halfway between Lake Charles and the Gulf of Mexico, and they're now starting to see that water come up, okay? So that's about 10 or so miles inland. That's up the Calcasieu River, and that means you go another 10, 15 miles to Lake Charles, and that's where we are. All right, so we're seeing all of the coastal communities, and even 200 miles to the east, outside of New Orleans, and those low-lying parishes, we've had water rise because of that surge. It's going to be far-reaching and very impactful, and it's going to be deadly, catastrophic, and National Weather Service saying unsurvivable if you chose to stay behind in an area that was ordered to evacuate. People did make the last-minute change this morning. They were probably planning on staying, and then they saw that forecast. They were out of here, including this woman who took her chances and left as fast as she could.
This is zero.
I'm so scared. I'm so scared. I didn't think I was going to make it here. I'm paralyzed from the waist down and nobody was coming to get me. I had to travel on the road from my house to one of the recreation in my city. There's no way I can go. I just left and took it to faith. I barely made it.
Okay. Thankfully, she's at a safe place, and hopefully you are as well, because that rain's coming in, those winds are picking up. Where do we go from here? It's 6:41 local time in Lake Charles. I would say by 8, it's going to be raining, and we're going to have much stronger gusts. By 10, we could be seeing 70, 80 miles per hour. That's when you start getting power outages. That's when you start seeing tree limbs come down, weak trees. And weak structures start taking a beating. And then after that, it's done deal. It's catastrophic, just horrible conditions. It's going to be pitch dark too, and that's going to make it all the more scary. So riding this out, it's going to be just a long night. You mentioned tomorrow afternoon, Alex, things start to clear up, but that just feels so far away. We're still on the 4 side. It's hard to imagine 10 hours of just chaos and what it's going to leave behind.
Absolutely, and it's going to be a long 10 hours for the people that stayed there. It is going to take a while. Chris mentioned some of the impacts we're already seeing. Behind me, the water already covering the roads in Cameron, Louisiana. So we're beginning to see that water inundate some of those low spots, those areas along the coast as expected. That water's only going to go up. Surge so many times. The underestimated threat and the one that provides the most in the way of devastation and deaths. Right now, we are looking at the forecast for Laura. This isn't something that makes landfall and then no longer becomes a story. We're going to be tracking this all the way into the upcoming weekend. Portions of the mid-Atlantic even watching for this storm to bring some gusty rain showers by Saturday. But in the meantime, flash flooding will be a real danger. Tomorrow and into early Friday, we're going to be looking at the threat of flash flooding very likely across parts of Arkansas, Louisiana, eastern Texas. Then, as we get you into Friday and Saturday morning, how about parts of West Tennessee, southwest Kentucky, southeastern sections of Missouri, and northeastern Arkansas? These are areas and communities that we think will see too much rain and will see high water. So creeks, streams could overflow their banks. Water could cover roadways. Really need to keep in mind the threats that will be on this table, or that will be on the table with this storm as we head into the end of the week and even into the upcoming weekend. Look at Shreveport tomorrow afternoon, getting in on the gusty winds. Again, it's going to take some time for these winds to wind down. So gusty winds, very heavy rain likely into tomorrow afternoon. Little Rock, by the time we get into late Thursday, early Friday, you've got very, very heavy rainfall and gusty winds. I think by the time we get into Friday, finally those winds begin to ramp down to the point that we're not looking at a lot of power outages, a lot of downed trees. They'll still be gusty, though, across parts of the Tennessee Valley into the Ohio Valley as we head into the upcoming weekend, parts of the Mid-Atlantic as well. Have an advisory in on Hurricane Laura. Let's take Mike for more.
Alex, here, winds are going up. Another tick up here with the wind speed up to 100
We call them monsters.
miles
That's what
per
society
hour.
thinks.
This is such an intense hurricane right now. The pressure also dropping like a rock. Pressure's now down to 940 millibars. This is 12 millibar pressure drop in the last 6 hours. It's going at a fearsome pace right now, 120 miles south of Lake Charles, Louisiana, but an intensifying, still Category 4 hurricane. We're just 7 miles away from a Category 5. Back after this.